What's up, guys? It's Drac, and we got another early review for you. You know it, you love it. It's the Rival AccuRival series, bringing quality back to the Rival brand in true fashion. I'm incredibly pleased with the first two reviews. You've already seen them on the channel, and you're here because I know that you hit the subscribe button, you clicked the bell for notifications, you left a kind comment, and you are here for early reviews, comprehensive looks at the latest and greatest from the mothership. And if you're one of the people that does all three of those things, I genuinely appreciate you. Thousands of people watch these videos, only hundreds of people comment. It means an absolute ton to me. Thank you so much. So coming in at $12.50, let's get into the review of the Rival Fate. Now, $12.50 is a steal for a pistol of this quality. These are usually floating at around $15 in terms of modern pistol performance price point. And alliteration aside, this is a much entry-level version of the AccuRival. If you just want to get your hands on the rounds, this is about the price of a reload kit at the end of the day. And now you're not going to be reloading with it. You get 3 rounds, which is barely enough to fill it a few times. I think that this one does not have an internal magazine, so it's more like the NITEFINDER of the series. So you'll be single round breech loading AccuRounds into your pistol. It's definitely larger than you might think it is, and we'll take it out of the package here. The only fallacious marketing on this bad boy is that, you know, I'm not entirely sure that this is more accurate in a sensational fashion versus the other Rival rounds. And then most importantly, calling the barrel that you put on the blaster an optimized barrel for engineered performance is a little silly. There's nothing optimal about the barrel. It's a pretty standard hop up tab and a pretty standard amount of choke. Normally when we modify Rival blasters, we open up that pathway to reduce the drag on the system, but is this going through the blaster? That's kind of cool. Compliments to Hasbro. This is plastic-free packaging. They've been doing that a lot recently. Mad props. Then we've got, I love how the adjustment ability of the sights keeps getting worse and worse as we go down. The Pathfinder had full articulation of 2 dials. Definitely felt like a SIG sight equivalent. The heckin' Vision came with like an adjustable side-to-side sight. It felt like some sort of mil-spec thing. This guy just goes back and forth. There's no logic behind that. You increase the sight, I guess, path between the two, but like we're firing Rival rounds. This is silly. At least it sticks in place. And as I mentioned in my other AccuRival pistol review, this one is a far more easy to understand, kind of comparable to the vintage Nerf lock and load. This is my favorite Nerf pistol of all time. The only thing that comes close is maybe the Scout from the Titan Unity system, but they have a lot in common. They both have translucent sight gimmicks, which is pretty cool. They both have onboard ammo storage. No. I was really hoping that this cutout, this VEF in the side, was going to justify storage for more shells or for more rounds, but it's not quite as elegant, not quite as refined as the Nerf lock and load with its side ammo saddle built onto it. But I just wanted to mention that 20 years later, we're still making pistols that feature cool colors, black detailing, and then pops of neon color to keep them safe. But you got a T-pull. T-pull is more of a modern feature. Most of the time in manufacturing world, they're using ring pulls or something soft. But I guess that they've learned. And this is, does it open with the breech? Okay, so that stays back. There's no way, oh, okay. Got it. Okay, so when you prime back, this pops forward. And that's gonna make this a very popular moddable breech style system where people are gonna use this to fling half-lengths. We will probably work on some sort of breech internally just because this is a great grip. It's doing a hybrid between the 2 colors, which means that it'll paint up nicely. Minimal paint on the shell, but I have size large glove hand things, and my digits fit very comfortably on this. It's got a good trigger well, and it's not doing anything too fancy. This is a very smart way of doing the breech, although once it's closed, it is closed. The T-pull doesn't slot back in, so you have to be kind of conscious of the fact that that's where, you know, this reaches a $12 point. You've got a long reload sequence. That's 1 prime, 2 load, 3 there, 4 click. And it definitely feels like a, you know, more powerful NITEFINDER in that it's got Rival-esque sort of I mean, it's solid. I'm looking forward to doing a mod guide for all of these. This one spins very nicely. It actually, the mold release in the trigger well is so smooth that it almost just spun off my finger. But I recently dropped a 45 kilogram on my trigger finger, so I'm a little bruised at the moment, which is making it hard for me to do my traditional Nerf gunslinger dealio. Also, the shell is a little thicker than your average Nerf pistol just to accommodate the plunger tube and the barrel kind of diameter that Rival requires. I wish it had some onboard storage. I'm going to be honest, that may be my only real complaint. It would have been very easy to put 2 of those notches down here, a la original, you know, NITEFINDER or what have you. But, you know, beggars and choosers and all that. It has a strictly offhand safety switch on this side of the blaster. You can see it up there right now. It's obviously in go. You slide forward for no-go. It's a very responsive safety. I don't know if we'll make a delete for it or not, just because it's very tactily satisfying. I think that there's nothing amiss there. So it has all the features that it needs to be a high-power Rival pistol between the safety and the, oh, do I owe them an apology? I do. All right, my bad. I said that this only went back to front, but I wish to correct myself. I will humble myself. Dear viewers, it is at a ramp. And as we know, the ramp allows us to adjust not just for the distance between the sights, but now we are in fact achieving elevation and we can adjust for distance to target. So truly, the sniper's pistol of choice, as long as the target is within 25 to 30 feet. Let's take it outside. Let's load it up. Let's do some damage to some cardboard. Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys, so we're out here to determine this blaster's fate. Let's go ahead and prime. That's interesting. It didn't disconnect that time. What do I do with that if it doesn't? There we go. You gotta get it in there, right? Throw that in, chamber it, put it over the chronograph, and 98. Dang. So Rival springers usually float right at around 100, but these boxes were claiming over 90. 98 certainly is over 90. Is that a duplicate 98? Consistency is unreal. Maybe that's what's making these more accurate. 92, not quite as serious. That time when okay, so I know what's happening there now. If you prime it and it doesn't open up, you just have to tug harder. There's an additional detent here beyond the catch where you do that and it releases the mechanism. Whoops. It releases the mechanism so that you can, I bet that means that you can do it now. Yeah, so it's always open. Let's put one more over. 96, pretty safe to say that this is a mid to high 90s sort of average on this bad boy. Now, as far as its accuracy goes, let's check this one because we've been fooled before. And I believe we'll be in better shape here because if you look with me, the hop-up tab in this one is installed correctly. So no QC issues here, hopefully. But we'll go ahead and throw a couple of rounds downrange. Target is very close because Rival rounds just float after a while. And I think that this is a pretty reasonable distance to target at about 25, 27 feet. So I'm not going to fool too terribly much with the sights, but why not? Maybe I should fool with the sights more often. So that was a perfect hit. I don't know if that's going to be obvious on camera, but it grazed the tip of the box. Just a little bit off to the side. And hit the top there. I mean, I think it's safe to say that this is reasonably accurate, certainly as accurate as the Pathfinder is. And, you know, that's a direct result of its tab being in the correct place. But overall, I mean, for this pistol at $12, I think it's not only a great platform for future modifications, but also it is a darn fine Rival pistol. It's certainly more affordable than a lot of the you know, gimmicky ones, and it's doing something very simple very well. The T-pull is quite comfortable. The overall priming action is clean. It's got a breech for a bunch of different reasons, and then this adjustable sight, if that's your deal, or maybe you're just looking for a, you know, cheap washboard instrument for the old jug band is fine. I think paint on only one side isn't even that big of a deal because it's got such bright highlights in the form of the orange and the yellow playing off the blue. you barely notice it with all the warning labels on the other side. But at 12 bucks, if you're looking to get into a rival pistol, I think that this one is certainly tough to beat. And if it ever goes on sale for under 10, it's a bargain at that point. So I think that, in all honesty, I'm pleasantly surprised we can write the entire AccuRival line off as a big win. I think that they're all fairly priced, solid blasters. They all look good, perform well. I think that the gimmick is a little silly, but you know, I mean, if they're not constantly refreshing their ammo molds, then how are they charging us 25 cents a round for ammo? So I'll let the devil have its due. I think the blasters themselves are certainly very worthy. Big fan of these. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Have a great weekend. Try not to freeze to death out there. Much love. Blast on. Drac out.